Hi, this is my multimedia book project, and the book that I chose was The Global Achievement Gap: Why Even Our Best Schools Don't Teach the New Survival Skills Our Children Need and What We Can Do About It. And that was written by Tony Wagner. So here's the APA details. This book was excellent. I cannot even describe how much I love this book, but it changed my whole frame of reference and thought and has me a little disturbed, to be honest with you, so we'll talk about that. But here are the chapters. Chapter 1, New World of Work, and 7 Survival Skills, which we'll get to. Then the Old World of School. Then there was Testing 1, 2, 3, Reinventing the Education Profession. Chapter 5 was Motivating Today's Students and Tomorrow's Workers, which is really interesting. And Chapter 6, Closing the Gap: Schools That Work, which I appreciated them putting actual examples of the schools that they suggest in the book. Takeaways: 7 survival skills. So, the image I have here is of a little world and kids and sort of kids from every culture working together towards common achievement. With global awareness, I sort of always had this thought that it was more like cultural awareness or needing to learn about other countries and things like that. But through this book, I sort of have realized that really we need to teach common threads in education that can be applied in any culture. That way our students are globally aware, they're globally competitive if they need to be, globally collaborative, and can really go to college anywhere in the world when I'm thinking about high school. So this book details 7 survival skills, which I really loved and sort of are the basis for the book. And so these are things that Tony Wagner says that all students should learn and know how to be able to do. So critical thinking and problem solving, there's collaboration across networks and leading by influence, agility and adaptability, initiative and entrepreneurialism, effective oral and written communication, assessing and analyzing information, and curiosity and imagination. So some takeaways or aha moments that I had. Public schools versus charter or private schools. Really, through this book, I realized that we are so limited because of our top-down education system that we have, at least in North Carolina and in many states. And we have decision makers deciding what curriculum we need to do, which is fine, but it's so jam-packed full of content information and basically memorizing facts that we can't do a whole lot more. I love the 7 survival skills and would love to teach critical thinking and problem solving and inquiry-based science, of course, but it's impossible when they have to remember every phase of mitosis and all the details of it, so which is just so low on Bloom's taxonomy anyways. So honestly, I was not really a fan of charter schools or private schools before reading this book, just because of all the media and things I've heard. But now I'm starting to lean towards those schools because they don't have to do state standards if they don't want to, and they can teach in a different way that they see fit. So I have had a mindset change because of this book. So I'm sort of excited about that and disturbed as well because I work in the public school system. So other aha moments I had: kids are great test takers. Even AP students are great test takers. Sometimes we think that they're doing well because they are great test takers, and when in fact they don't really understand the content or can't really apply it in a different scenario. Other things: it's hard for U.S. citizens to work globally because we are accustomed to being in control. I thought that was kind of interesting that Wagner said, because that is very true. we like to have control in America. And so we need to stop that if we can, in order to work with other folks and take on other ideas that are not our own. Students taught by National Board Certified Teachers, which is the NBCT, do better on test scores and are particularly effective with minority students, which I thought was interesting. I'm nationally board certified. It was one of the best things I ever did for myself. I have been for many years, and I know that the new Ed TPA things are modeled similar, and so I think that's a good thing, and this book supports that. Also, I love this quote: rigor is being in the company of a thoughtful, relative adult who invites you into an adult conversation, which is composed of the rigorous pursuit of inquiry. I love all that because I love inquiry, and I think that that is one of the best definitions of rigor that I have ever heard, rather than being more content and more information and more challenges, maybe just passing on the information that you have as an adult in a relationship that you have with the student, in terms of trying to figure things out in the way that their own brain allows their logic to work. I think it was really profound from this book. Other takeaways and important aspects of the argument: we do need to keep in mind that expectations are different across cultures, which I think this book supports. This is Linda Darling Hammond's idea from her Flat World of Education piece that we read, but the book supports it as well, Tony Wagner's book, because he talks about how the 7 survival skills basically allow us to use generalizations such as critical thinking, and that way it can be applied to every culture, because critical thinking, of course, is going to look a little bit different in every culture, depending on the needs and the desires and expectations of that society and their family situation. Global awareness does not demand cost. There were lots of examples in the book of really successful schools that had a lot smaller budget than we do. For example, the high-tech high school, I believe, had like $6,000 and some change for students, which is about half of what we have in Brunswick County for the per student allotment. So that said a lot, I thought. Also, being globally committed requires proper legislation. This is that top-down piece that I've been talking about. I just am very frustrated with the top-down legislation that's going on and what people think are appropriate for children. And I think that this book gives us some great examples of how that can be changed. Connections to the profession. Like I just said, there's got to be a top-down change in order to create globally competitive students. At the moment, we are creating good test takers and kids that know a lot of facts and then forget them when they go to college and then don't know how to apply skills, which is sad for everybody, and we need to try to fix that if we can. Teachers make small changes in the classroom, but really need that administrative support. If a teacher is going to do something profound and risk-taking, they need administration to say, I don't really care if your test scores bomb the first time you try this, which can be hard when administrators are getting top-down pressure, right? Also, students should take international assessments in order to assess global skills. I really like the collegiate learning assessment that was mentioned in this book, or the CLA. I thought it was a really great generalized test. They only did it every few years for the kids at different milestones, if you will, which I thought was really great, and it tested those. It tests those 7 survival skills, which is awesome. Other takeaway resources, we've got the International Assessment site is on this video right here, and also I'm going to put a clickable link in the comments section below this YouTube video if you would like to click it. Also, High Tech High School, really just a cool place to kind of explore and look up. And then also I have TED Talks, and the video will be a clickable video up in the corner of this video in just a second. And I love this TED Talk because he talks about international ideas such as Finland and things that they're coming up with. They're doing a lot of integrative and less content specific learning, and has just some really innovative ways to do education that really apply to this book, and I think are amazing. So it's worth a watch. Here's my reference list, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I really love this book, and thank you so much for introducing it to me and allowing me to explore the topics with you. Thanks.